Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. Coming up, we see who's next in line to become the number one contender for the NXT Championship. Will it be TNA champion Trick Williams taking on Javon Evans? One of these two men will head the Heatwave to meet Oba Femi will become the NXT Championship. We'll get that coming up, as well as more action. A grudge match as Ricky Saints takes on Jasper Troy, the LFG alum champion, goes 1-on-1 against Ricky Saints, a former North American champion. We'll see it coming up. Speaking of Saints, felt former rival Ethan Page, the North American champion, along with Chelsea Green, settle and have a peace treaty, like a U.S. and Canada peace treaty. They're trying to make peace with Tavion Heights and Tamara May Steele, but things go unplanned tonight, as you can see right here. We'll talk about that coming up. More implications. The TNA Women's Knockout Championship. Fatal Influence in a 6-woman tag team match to go against the Elegance brand. Ash by Elegance, get held by Elegance, and other areas. Marsha Sandbush, the special guest referee. A lot of implications as well as this. Get to this. Starting out NXT on Yoshi Amaro takes on Josh Britt. These former tag team partners battling the street fight. Still the street fight, we'll talk about it. Coming up on the Heat check, we'll talk about this. Chris Jericho could be making waves going back to WWE. We'll see. Y2J will make his way going back to WWE. They did. AEW. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Ed Dixon. Glad you join us in the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation. The hashtag Pro Wrestling. Hit on Connect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button when you don't want to miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Man, oh man, we're getting the NXT Ring Report started. So let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started with this street fight. The Philly street fight happened until the Philly street fight took place tonight. As you can see right here, Imora and Josh Bridge, both were former tag team partners. It came up a ride, and I mean came up a ride like they was really had each other's backs. But now all of a sudden, things have changed, and things have been changing for the past couple of weeks. There more had got a shot at the NXT title, and Bridge didn't get a shot, and maybe Josh Bridge got jealous of him more. See when they World Championship match, Earl Mora lost that match tonight. Bridge found the way to win. Josh Bridge defeating his former tag team partner, and doing so the way he did right here, covering him more, do a table and crashing and landing, and got the 1-2-3. Earl Moore may not be the same, but hey, he put up a fight that he did tonight. Well, speaking of that, Ricky Saints was in action. He emerged victorious tonight over his opponent, Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy, the winner of the LFG Go winner. And now Ricky Saints can add himself the Fiend, Jasper Troy, putting Jasper Troy out of his misery. Jasper Troy did put up a fight, but Ricky Saints found the way to gain some momentum, and he did tonight by doing what he needed to do. I think he did that jumping DDT, the spinning DDT, the tornado DDT to get the win. Ricky Saints defeated Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy really didn't have a chance tonight. He really didn't have a chance, but hey, it is what it is. Well, speaking of that, this fatal influence getting confronted by Solo Roca and Zarya. Solo Roca, the North American champion, Zarya, her buddy. Fatal influence. JC Jane didn't like that one bit. JC Jane had more fish to fry in her matchup. You see right here, JC Jane teaming up with her girls, Fallon Henry and the other girl to take on Ash by Elegance. Used to be what's her name? Got her name. If y'all know who she was back in the day when she was with Team Dana Brooke, yes, Dana Brooke, but now she's Ash by Elegance. It's like NXT versus TNA. A lot of implications. We know that next week, this Sunday, will be the Knockouts title on the line. Jason Jane won't be defending the NXT Women's Championship. She'll be defending the Knockouts Championship against Masha Slamovich and Ash and Heather Ash by Elegance. What a tag team match that was. The match was chaotic, but JC Jane winning for her team did so by winning. JC Jane putting I one out on notice like she did. One thing about JC Jane wants to get the job done and finds a way to win. And she did find a way to win, pinning one of the other girls from the Elegance brand. JC James sent a message that she's going to be a double champion, double champ JC, one way or another. But JC James really setting the standard, setting herself up to what she wants to do. And we'll see if JC James will continue that momentum coming up shortly. But hey, JC James won with her team tonight. Well, Trick Williams, the TNA champion, speaking of another TNA champion, saying that he's going to be like Jason James, win some NXT gold as well. He's been NXT champion before. He wants to win it again. And this is his opportunity of a lifetime to do so. So Trick Williams looking forward to winning the TNA championship. Well, he got the TNA champion, but winning the NXT championship once again, being a double champion. Well, we tell you this that Charlie Dempsey and still trying to recruit members. He's trying to recruit members, losing members like Miles Bourne and the rest of them. Tavion Heights, that Miles Bourne. Speaking of Charlie Dempsey, pupils, Miles Bourne getting attacked by Brian Pillman Jr., Lexus King with that spray paint. Lexus King making fun of Miles Bourne by him being deaf and saying and not being blind, and it was kind of harsh and mean and cruel. He did so. He sprayed some spray at him. It really caused him to temporarily get blind for a minute. I think he's trying to mock him and trying to find something to suit him, but it ain't gonna work. It's gonna backfire against him down the wrong way. I can tell you that right now. Speaking of that, we'll tell you this right here. Um, what else happened? That peace treaty. The peace treaty happened tonight as Tara May Steele and Tavion Heights met with Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. They're trying to do a peace summit. They're trying to create peace, but the peace was not there tonight. And Tavion Heights and Tamarain Steele wasn't having none of it. And Chelsea Green and Ethan Page trying to make fun of them being Americans, saying Americans are rude, which they are, but hey, they ain't gonna let you know that. But hey, it is what it is. But Ethan Page did try to warn Chelsea that this might not be a good idea, but Chelsea said this could be a good idea. And Ethan Page was certainly right, as both Tamara Ray Steele and Tavion Heights applied the ankle lock, made famous by Kurt Angle, and applied it and made them both tap out. You could see this coming up this weekend. There's going to be a mixed tag team match between Tavion and Tamara May Steele to team up against Ethan and Chelsea in that mixed tag team match. Looking forward to seeing that. So we'll cover that this weekend for the NXT Heatwave Ring Report and predict outcome. Like we said right here, don't forget we're gonna have this week the predict the outcome special for both Forbidden Door and Heatwave. So looking forward to seeing that. You can be reviews and results special. So predict the outcome special as well as reviews and results special for both of them. So looking forward to seeing that. Like we said, this is the in this week is the NXT Ring Report. We had tomorrow will be the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Friday be SmackDown. Then Sunday we round it up with the Forbidden Door and Heatwave predict outcomes and review specials. So looking forward to seeing that as well. Well, we get to this right here. Um, Blake Monroe did a face to face with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace want to get her hands on Blake Monroe so bad. Jordan Grace wants to tear her down limb by limb. Jordan Grace tried to, but it looked like Blake Monroe's trying to not sign the contract because she feels that Jordan Grace might be a threat, and who couldn't blame her? But hey, Jordan Grace even attacked all the security guards that Blake had put up against her. She took them all down. And she did, and she kind of showed the world she ain't playing. You can tell right here, Blake Monroe's gonna be really in trouble if Jordan Grace can calm herself down and get the best of her. And I think that's what she's trying to do, get the best of her, so she can make her have fear, and that fear will come throughout. You know what? Well, we get to this right here, the main event. Who was next in line to become the number one contender for the NXT Championship? Was it going to be Trick Williams or Javon Evans? Both men are hungry, young, and ready, and they're talented. They wanted the most. Oba Femi was at ringside to watch to see who was next in line to get a shot at his title. Oba Femi did not see this one coming right here. Javon getting the help from Trick. Javon getting the help from what's his name? Mike Santana, who could be the next TNA champion down the road. Mike Santana helping Javon. Mike Santana called Trick Williams the opportunity to become NXT champion, but hey, Trick's the TNA champion, so it really don't matter. Javon won by doing the bouncy move twice and pinning Trick Williams to get the 1, 2, 3. And Javon Evans now earns himself a match against Oba Femi for the coveted NXT Championship. We'll see that match coming up this weekend. So Javon Evans pinning Trick Williams get the win with the help of TNA's Mike Santana. And you can tell Trick Williams is not going to be a happy camper once he wake up and find out that Mike Santana was the one that cost him an opportunity at the TNA championship, at the NXT championship. All right. That's going to do it for the NXT ring report. Let's move over to the heat check. In the heat check, we talk about this right here. We're hearing reports that Chris Jericho could be coming back to WWE after his AEW deal is done. Chris Jericho started as the inaugural AEW champion and won and was a fixture on AEW, but now we haven't seen Jericho on AEW TV since April, so it's been nearly 3 months. Jericho hasn't been on TV and hasn't been mentioned. Don't know what's going on. But Jericho could be making his way back to WWE. Could be a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble. We would like to see Chris Jericho make his entrance back in WWE where he all begins again. Could, but Jericho, we're gonna keep a very close eye on this with Chris Jericho on everything that's going on with Jericho. Let's see. Well, speaking of that, we're here on Raw. Like we said, breaking news right here. Once we have breaking news, we're gonna break it down for you right here. That on the Raw brand of things, we're hearing that Raw's getting low viewership and not doing so well for it's low rating for 6 weeks. Man, on Netflix, so all of a sudden, I guess the honeymoon is over. WWE kind of trying to figure out what's next for him and really tearing down on Raw. But we'll see. They come up to being that great. Maybe Vince Russo was right. But speaking of that, LA Knight, a fixture, has been now moved to Raw. LA Knight now part of the Raw roster. They didn't do nothing, no trade, no deals, and then I guess they said LA Knight's been appearing on Raw. All of a sudden, let's go and put him on Raw. LA Knight now a fixture on the Raw brand, and about LA. LA's trying to get his just due. I can tell you that right now. What LA Knight's doing. So he's gonna compete for the world championship next Sunday against Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. It should be a tremendous match to see. Speaking of a tremendous match that been announced, three of the hottest women on television. We got Kalani Joy, Lois Vice, and Jada Parker. These three women will compete. Who's going to be next in line for a shot at the NXT North American Championship? We're going to see which one of these three beauties going to run a wrestle for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And like we said, don't forget, we're going to have the Predict the Outcome special for both Forbidden Door and Pro Wrestling on the Heatwave. So you can watch and see which predictions I'm going to predict to make sure, hey, or what you think, what you audience thinks out there. So we're going to be watching closely and watch for those Predict the Outcome Forbidden Door specials as well. So we'll be keeping close tabs on that as we find more. All right. And don't forget, we want to congratulations again. You didn't miss the Raw Ring report this week. Naomi revealed that she is proceeding with caution with a baby on board. Naomi, this is the thumbnail. You want to watch it back? You can watch it back here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Yesterday's show and in the archives is Screaming Now. It's available on demand. Naomi had to relinquish the Women's World Championship. She's no longer the Women's World Champion. We'll find out next this Monday what they're gonna do with that title. But congratulations to Naomi and her husband Jimmy Uso, who's gonna be a dad once again for a third time. He proceeded with caution. So congratulations to the happy couple on their big news. Well, we'll end this right here, Pro Wrestling Show, with Javon Evans defeating Trick Williams to become the number one contender for the coveted NXT Championship, and he'll meet Oba Femi for the championship. Don't forget, we'll have predict the outcome for Forbidden Door and Heatwave, as well as review specials for both. So we're gonna leave you here on the Pro Wrestling Show with Javon. We'll see you tomorrow for the EAW ring.